ran back. "What time is it, Mo?" "A whisker past 6, I said, smiling. "I sure hope you slept well." "I did," she said, "for a shockingly brief period of time." Like Dale, Miss Rose doesn't necessarily wake up good. Her voice took on a silky, dangerous tone. "And you are on my porch before the sun has wiped the sleep from its eyes because—" I took a deep breath. "Because the Colonel's back but Miss Lana's gone, so I got to open the café, which means Dale and me can't go fishing, and I feel like it would be rude not to let him know. I'm just trying to do what's right," I concluded. A tiny frown creased her forehead. Fortunately, Miss Rose is a person of manners, and as Miss Lana says, manners will tell. "Well," she finally said, "as long as we're all awake, won't you come in?" "She can't," Dale said, swinging his legs over the side of his bed. "Me and Mo are opening the café today." "Mo and I," she murmured as he stood up fully dressed and stepped into a pair of sandals that looked way too big. She blinked. "What happened to your pajamas, and why are you wearing your brother's old shoes?" "Sleeping in my clothes saves time, and my feet are growing," he replied, shoving his black t-shirt into his shorts and running his fingers through his hair. The men in Dale's family are vain about their hair, and with good reason. "He's growing feet first," I added. "The rest of him will catch up later." Dale is the second smallest kid in our class. Only Sally Amanda Jones is smaller. Dale's sensitive. "Gotta go," I shouted, and grabbed my bike and headed across the yard. Dale caught up with me just outside town. We coasted past the mayor's new sign, "Welcome to Tupelo Landing, North Carolina, population 148, and skidded to a halt in the cafe parking lot, kicking up a rooster tail of oyster shells and sand. "Holy moly," he said, dropping his bike. "Looks like the Colonel's got a new car." "A 58 Underbird," I said modestly. "Original paint." "You mean a Thunderbird," he said, strolling around the car. Dale's family knows cars. In fact, his big brother Lavender, who I will one day marry, races at Carolina Raceway. Dale kicked a tire and squinted at the silvery letters sprawling across the car's fender. "Used to be a Thunderbird," he announced. "Looks like the T and H fell off." "Well, it's an Underbird now," I said, waving my key in front of the cafe's door. "I don't see why you do that," he said, watching me. "Everybody in town knows that door won't lock." "I don't do this for everybody in town. I do it in case of strangers. Can't be too careful about strangers. That's what the Colonel says." Dale grabbed my arm. "Wait, don't open up today, Mo, please. Let's go fishing. I was going to surprise you, but I got us a boat." I froze, the door half open. "A boat? Where'd you get a boat?" "Mr. Jesse's," he said, rocking back on his heels. I tried not to sound impressed. "You stole Mr. Jesse's boat?" He studied his fingernails. "I wouldn't say stole," he said, "but I did borrow it pretty strong." I sighed. "I can't, Dale. Not today." "Tomorrow, then." He grinned, grabbing the closed sign and flipping it to open. Dale's my best friend. By now you can see why. We barely had time to rev up the air conditioner and click on the ceiling fans before our first customer stumbled in. I won't say our patrons are an ugly lot, but at 6:30 a.m. they ain't pretty. I stepped up on the Pepsi crate behind the counter as Mr. Jesse came sauntering in, thin-shouldered and round-bellied, wearing a faded plaid shirt, khakis, and last night's whiskers. "Morning, Mr. Jesse," I said. "What'll it be?" "Hey, Mo," he said, grabbing a menu. "Shouldn't you be in school?" "School ended last week, Mr. Jesse." "Oh? What grade will you—" "Sixth." "Sixth grade? Good gracious, girl."